senior members of the JVP commented on the upcoming provincial council elections during separate meetings held yesterday.
Normally, the Elections Commission decides on what day an election will be held. This is the law. The Minister of Agriculture, Mahindayappa Abhiwardena, clearly stated during an event in Mathura that the Provincial Council election would be held on the 29th of March. How can he know this? Has he been vested with the powers of the Elections Commissioner? Since when can a minister say that elections would be held on this particular date? This shows that the Elections Commission is being manipulated by the government and the UPFA.
මේ ආණ්ඩුව එක්සත් ජනතා නිදහස් සන්ධානය කියලා. මාර්තු මාසයේ 28 වෙනිදා
On the 28th of March, a resolution against Sri Lanka will be presented in Geneva at 7 p.m. What is the government trying to do? It is trying to hold the election on the 29th of March. They are in the process of fixing the dates. The president will address the nation on the 28th evening and say that international forces are rallying against the country and that the people should unite and give a clear signal at the elections that will be held tomorrow. He will definitely ask you to cast your vote for the country and for the betel leaf.
Time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day. Police have informed all motorists to remove stickers which state VIP and VVIP from front and rear windshields. Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rona made the announcement at a media briefing convened today.
VVIP and label සහිත වාහන සම්බන්ධයෙන් කිසිම
We have been ordered not to allow any motorists to display stickers proclaiming VIP or VVIP on the rear or front windshields. We will warn them the first time, and if these are not removed, we will initiate legal action in the courts. We have seen numerous instances where false VIP and VVIP stickers have been used to transport drugs and illicit liquor and for other illegal activities.
ව්‍යාජාකාරයට මේ ලේබල් අලවගෙන මේ ආකාරයට ස්ටිකර් අලවගෙන ගමන් කරන අවස්ථා දැකලා තියෙනවා.
Up next is Action TV.
Citizens of the country benefit greatly from a good road network being present in the country as they are able to save valuable time. Expressways and highways that are being constructed save the valuable time of the public. However, by-roads that fall through villages and towns are also equally important as they too serve this very same purpose. Rural by-roads began to develop after the end of the war, and a symbol of this development was the laying of concrete on roads. This particular by-road, which connected the Anuradhapura-Puttalam main road and the Thabbova town, was chosen to be developed 3 years ago under the Gamanaguma program. Concrete was laid on a 1 kilometer section of this road, which spans a total of 3 kilometers. However, area residents have begun to express dissatisfaction over the lifespan of this concrete road, which was built at a cost of over 500,000 rupees. Concrete has been laid on a section of the road. It is useless as it breaks apart each day. People can't travel on this road. We call on the authorities to construct this road completely. When you examine several areas of the road on which concrete was not laid, we begin to realize that this road was one which could have been utilized without a new concrete surface. However, the contractors have destroyed a 1 kilometer section of this road which was once usable by laying gravel and clay soil over it. Funds amounting to 100,000 rupees was allocated by the provincial councils for the renovation of this section of the road, and the responsibility was vested with the Samruddhi committee. No one can travel on this road. The condition of the road was okay before they began laying the gravel. When it rains, people slip and fall on this road. We cannot even ride a bicycle on it. Shouldn't measures be taken to rectify the fate that has befallen the Vijaypura road in Thabbova? Chairman of the Puttalam District Development Coordinating Committee, this is over to you.
UNP activists point out that the current members of the UNP Leadership Council are individuals who obtained a lesser number of votes than their fellow candidates at the previous general election. The question as to how individuals with depleted over bases of their own could direct the party towards victory.
Although UNP Leadership Council member Mangala Samaravira served as a minister in the People's Alliance and United People's Freedom Alliance governments, he was only able to come in second from the Mathura district when he contested under the UNP ticket. When Samaravira contested for the 2004 general election under the UPFA ticket, he secured a total of 118,848 votes and came in first. By the time he contested for the 2010 general election under the United National Party, his voter base had decreased to just 59,836 votes. However, despite this fact, he functions as the Mathura district leader of the UNP, as well as the head of the UNP communications unit, and is also a member of the working committee. Young parliamentarian Buddhika Pathirana came in first from the Mathura district during the 2010 election. In 2009, when he competed for the Southern Provincial Council elections, he was able to garner 57,802 votes and was elected as the youngest opposition leader in Provincial Council history. Buddhika Pathirana, who was able to expand his voter base, secured 62,499 votes at the 2010 general election and went on to top the preferential voting lists. However, he was stripped of his position in the UNP Working Committee and his position of electoral organizer was suspended for 3 years. Buddhika Pathirana, who acted as the district leader during the 2009 Southern Provincial Council election, was able to secure 96,614 votes for the party. However, in 2010, under the leadership of Mangala Samaravira, the United National Party was only able to secure 91,114 votes. UNP Colombo district leader and UNP Leadership Council member Ravi Karunanayaka is also an individual who crossed over to the United National Party.
Welcome back to the news. As promised, here's a look at the weather conditions, the adverse weather conditions that affected areas such as Jaffna, Kilinochchi and Mullaitivu.
Gale force winds buffeted the Mullaitivu district yesterday, causing rough seas and intermittent showers. Meanwhile, the Disaster Management Centre notes that the evacuation order issued for those living within 100 metres of the coast in this area yesterday remains in effect. People in the Mullaitivu district stayed away from the coast, while schools in the area were also closed down. According to the Met Department, wind speeds could increase to around 70 km per hour. Although the adverse weather condition in the island is recovering, we request the public to maintain a distance of at least 100 metres from the coastline. Around 80 families have been displaced due to the inclement weather conditions in the Mullaitivu district. The displaced individuals are currently residing in temporary camps. With the help of the police, we are taking the necessary steps to provide the necessary support and relief required for the displaced persons. Rains accompanied by gale force winds were also prevalent in the Kilinochchi district. While fishermen did not set out to sea, there was a decline in attendance at schools. Seas off the Jaffna district were also rough, prompting fishermen to stay out of the water. However, some fishermen on smaller one-day vessels did set out to sea and return safely. Jaffna District Secretary Sundaram Arumai Nayagam said that schools in the Vadamarachi area were shut down as a result of the adverse weather. The District Secretary added that if the situation prevails, schools in the area will be closed tomorrow as well. Our reporter says that there was a decline in attendance at other schools in the district. Rough seas were seen even today in Jaffna. Therefore, the Disaster Management Centre and the Pradeshia Sabha request that fishermen refrain from setting out to sea. While there was no considerable change in the weather over Trincomalee and Batticaloa, fishermen in these districts set out to sea as usual.
This is a rainfall experienced in several areas of the island in the 24 hours ending at 8:30 this morning. Our reporters on location and at Newsfirst Centre are continuing to monitor the adverse weather conditions and will keep our viewers and listeners up to date.
On to other local news now. The South Asia Policy and Research Institute, or SAPRI, supported by the Club de Madrid, a forum of former heads of state and government, will be holding a colloquium on the challenges to pluralism in Asia at the BMICH tomorrow afternoon. Now, speaking exclusively to Newsfirst, Dr. Clem McCartney, Senior Program Coordinator at the Club of Madrid, spoke about the intentions of tomorrow's colloquium.
SAPRI is facing in this particular topic is the issue of divisions and conflict between groups and communities, and how to overcome those conflicts and those tensions and those uncertainties. And they arise around a number of factors, such as religion, ethnic identity, and so on and so forth. And the aim, I think, is to try to explore why these divisions occur, how one can begin to build a society where everyone can feel at home and feel part of the community and feel they belong and can share in the society.
The first meeting of the Democratic Party Youth Force in Kalawava was held in Tamuttegama, Anuradhapura today.
A group including the chief organizer of the Kolonnav electorate of the Democratic Party, Susil Kindelpitiya, and the party's national organizer and media secretary attended the meeting. No ruler or government which has governed this country in the recent past has used the youth to support the development of the nation. My friends, if they have done this, the situation in this country would have been very different. The youth in our country have the strength and the need to fight on. That is why during 2 periods the youth pledged their lives and fought against the rulers.
The Colombo Magistrates Court issued a warrant for the arrest of the first defendant in the case pertaining to the killing of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra today, ordering that the defendant be produced in court thereafter.
The warrant was issued since the first defendant in the case was not present in court today. While the third defendant in the case was also absent from court today, defense lawyers attributed his absence to ill health. The 11th defendant in the case, MP Duminda Silva, was present in court today. The case was postponed to the 6th of February.
Bharata Lakshman Premachandra ge paula venuwen.
On behalf of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra's family in Canada, what I have to say is that in this country where the Chief Justice was sent home within 24 hours, we hope that we too will receive justice. It has not struck our minds as yet that we will receive justice. What more can I say? What I need to say has been said. Regardless of the justice of the courts, we are hoping that someday the people will give us justice.
The High Court granted permission for MP Duminda Silva to travel overseas. So from today for another 3 weeks, he has been granted permission by the High Court to travel overseas for a re-examination of his surgery and to be treated after his medical reports have been examined.